Hello, hi everyone. This is Barb Mangami, also known as Coach B. How's everybody else doing today? I hope you guys are having a great time. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I thought I would just come on today and talk a little bit about empaths, right? And being able to identify whether you're an empath is really important. So what is an empath? An empath is a very highly sensitive person. These are people who are sensitive to shifts in emotions. They're sensitive to shifts in energy. They're sensitive to shifts even in things like the weather. I know empaths who can tell that it's going to rain just by a shift in barometric pressure that they seem to feel in their bodies. Empaths are highly sensitive people. And so I just wanted to come on here and talk about this because at this time that we're living in with everything that's going on, I think the empaths have to take special care of themselves, probably more care than they usually do. So I just wanted to give you the hallmarks of an empath, and maybe you can identify yourself in this. So empaths generally get easily overwhelmed, right? They have a very strong intuition, what we might call your gut instinct. Like they can tell you without intellectually knowing why, whether something is wrong, whether something doesn't feel right, something bad's gonna happen. Like I know a lot of empaths who are able to predict when something horrible is about to happen, especially with people they're close to and people they love. But I also know empaths who are able to, in a sort of global sense, say, you know what, something bad's gonna happen, and usually it does. They are very highly in tune with energetic changes. They also have a great love of nature. They dislike crowds and noise. So they suffer from sensory overload really quickly. Hey, Alex, how are you doing, mama? I'm an empath too. That's why I know. They're very good at picking up things that are going on in their communities. Like I said, they don't like being in crowds because they pick up on every single energy shift, emotions that are going on around the people they're with, and therefore they suffer sensory overload and they get tired very easily. They have trouble fitting in because they process more information than, say, regular people. I know teenagers, for example, don't fit in with their friends because teen empaths are usually very level-headed because they have almost like a higher knowing of something, so they generally don't do stupid things. They sense when danger is coming, and they're very quick in their friend group to say, no, guys, I don't think we should do this. As a result, they're not very popular. And they tend to self-isolate as a result of that. They self-isolate because they don't want to run the risk of being shunned or made fun of, or, like I said, they're not in the popular kids group. And so they generally will tend to just like stay by themselves, also for their own safety. They don't like the sensory overload. It's a very uncomfortable thing for them when they go to a mall, for example, and there's all this noise going on. But then there are also people's emotions as well as the noise, and they pick up on stuff like that as well. So they have a very unique view of the world. Very unique view of the world, again, because they take in more information from the world. So their perspective on things is usually very different from their peer group. So you'll find that a lot of empaths, especially teenagers, will hang out with people who are older than them because they have this almost like old soul. Why do we call them old souls? Because of the almost wisdom, like innate wisdom that they seem to have. But it's literally because they function at a higher frequency, pick up on all sorts of different levels of information, not just in this three-dimensional, but spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. They have high intake. And so they have a unique way of responding or giving solutions to problems, which is really valuable. It's a great gift to have. So if you are a person who is an empath, understand that you don't have a problem, you have a gift. Please understand that. If you have a child or children who are empaths, please make sure you reassure your children that they're not problem children. Yeah, they are intense and they require a special way of handling. These are not the children that you can just say brutal words to and expect to get away with it. They're not thick-skinned. I don't think parents should be using brutal language with their kids anyway, but certainly not with your empathic kids, because you can hurt them and hurt them deeply because they feel deeply. So I just want parents to be aware, if you have a child like that, usually they're the kids who, when they're babies, they're always crying. When they're like 5-year-olds, they're like little worry wells. They generally don't even like greeting people. That's because they sense people's vibes. Don't push your kids into greeting people they don't want to greet. Because usually they know that, I don't want to go near Uncle So-and-so because Uncle So-and-so ain't right. Honor them. Honor that. Please. It's a gift. It's a special gift that they have. And when they are misunderstood and when they are not taken care of appropriately, it really can damage them. So please keep that in mind. The next thing about them is they also suffer from boundary issues, right? Because they feel so deeply for people, because they're so highly sensitive, they tend to be the first to pick up on other people's needs, sometimes before people even know that they have these needs. Right? So they overextend themselves, sometimes to their own detriment. We talked about this codependency. And so empaths are prone to that. They also have sensitivity to sounds, to smells. If you have the child who doesn't want to wear a shirt because it makes him or her feel some type of way, you've got an empath. You've got a very sensitive child there. Look for other cues like the ones I've mentioned, and you'll probably find that 2 or 3 of the things I've mentioned also match up with that. Then the other thing is what I wanted to talk about too is what they need for themselves, right? So the empaths are people who need a special kind of self-care, right? So they're the people who need definitely to be in touch with nature a lot. They need to be around green. They need to be able to put their feet on the soil because it grounds them and it keeps them centered. They need quiet time a lot. Honor the fact that they don't want to play with people all the time, especially if you have children. Let them have their quiet time. Let them have their peaceful time. They need that. The other thing is help them set boundaries. If you don't know how to help them, get them a professional who can help them set boundaries and enforce those boundaries so that they're not overextending themselves, so that they're able to take care of themselves. They enjoy good nutrition is important for them because kids especially, kids with a lot of additives, the processed foods cause that hyperstimulation that makes them even more sort of hypersensitive, and it just makes life more difficult for them. So concentrate on whole food nutrition, lots of green vegetables, lots of fruits, and exercise is really important for them. Exercise in the outdoors where they get to move their body and move and cycle energy through their systems. They also need to surround themselves with really good people. They need to surround themselves with people who are supportive of them and not necessarily people who want to leech and take out from them. So if you're one of these people and you recognize any of the things that I've said here, please be aware and please be very careful that you take good care of yourself as an empath, right? Honor that gift because it's a very important gift. Lots of societies don't realize that this is actually a form of giftedness. And so they make it a problem. And I want you to understand it's not a problem, it is a gift. Your ability to sense things, your ability to feel things is actually much needed because many people are just bulldozing their way through life without figuring out that there are other dimensions out there that if you're not an empath, you're not going to pick up on. And so you're not going to be able to process all the information before you make decisions. So if you happen to have an empath in your life, you're very lucky. Nurture that empath, even if it's your friend. Understand who they are and listen to them. If they're telling you, I have a bad feeling about something, pay attention to that because most often it's because they're able to access information that someone else who does not have the gift is not able to access. So I hope you guys got value from this. If you did, please share this out. By the way, Generic African Auntie, the podcast drops tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. This is a podcast specifically for young women who are looking for ways and tools to navigate the world as they become adults and they move out of, say, their parents' home, out of college dorms, and out into the real world. So hope you guys have a great day. I will catch you later. I will be back later on. And yeah, we can vibe and talk about whatever. Have a great day, guys. Take care.